Hi everybody, it's Susie. Welcome back to my craft room. Okay, I hope that y'all have your signatures done. I'm so sorry that I've been missing in action for a couple of days. I ended up with a really bad sinus infection, and it got behind my eardrum, and it's made me dizzy and wobbly, and with me falling like I do, it just wasn't good for me to move around too much, so I haven't. So anyway, I'm back. Anyway, I hope you got your signatures done. I ended up with 3. I probably could have broke it down to 4, but I just didn't want to go that small. So I've done some embellishments, and I'll show you those when we do our final flip through. Excuse me. But right now I want to show you how to make the journal cover. Okay, there's 2 ways to measure for your spine. You can, just like your pages are, you can measure. I got to turn this around this way and say, well, you know what, that's about 2.5 inches. Or, oh my goodness, sorry about that. Sorry it got blurry, y'all. Or you can measure this way and go like 3.5 inches. So I am actually going to kind of split the difference and make a 3-inch spine for mine, because it is bulky and I'm not quite finished with my embellishments yet. I'm going to add a little more lace to it, but right now I'm going to go for a 3-inch spine. So what I want to do though is, when we measure our cover, we're going to measure. Now this is, I don't know if you made journal covers, for each of your signatures, or if your signatures are, just as is. Now, if you've made journal covers like I have, then you can measure the width of this plus 1/8 of an inch. However, remember that when you put your pages together, they end up getting bigger towards the center. If you don't trim those off straight, which I'm not, I like mine like that. If you don't trim those off straight, you're going to want to leave about 1/4 of an inch. So I hope that makes sense. So if I'm going to measure this, this is going to be about 5 1/8 of an inch. So I could measure to 5 1/4, and that would be fine. But I want to go to 5 3/8, just so I have a little extra, because I don't want my pages hanging past the end of the book. I hope that makes sense. So if you only want to leave 1/8, then you would just go to, say, 5 1/4, if your pages are the same size as mine. You have to measure your own pages to determine. So I'm going to write down my measurements. And so I'm going to go, my width is going to be 5 3/8 inches. And then your height you're going to measure, and you're either going to add 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, whichever you prefer. So now this way, I'm only going to add 1/8 of an inch, because my pages don't stick out further, like they do when you fold them like this. When they're like this, they should all be about the same height as each other. So I'm just going to measure this and then add 1/8 of an inch. So this is actually about 7 3/16. So I'm going to add, I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch and go to 7 and say 7 1/2 is what I'm going to do. No, do I really want to go that high? No, I just want to add 1/8 of an inch. So that's 3/8. Okay, so I'm going to make that 7 3/8. So my length is 7 3/8 of an inch. So, you measure yours how you want, whether you want to add 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, and either or both directions. And so then get you something, and you can use, any kind of packaging that you have, or you can use, a big envelope. Let me see if I have one handy here. What did I do with them? There they are, I think. You know, you could use an envelope like this and cut it down. You know, and Tyvek makes a great journal like that, and wrap it around. And of course, you would cover that, you know, with your paper. So you can use, you know, a big envelope if you have it. You know, you can make it out of a paper bag. You know, you can use a box. I'm going to make mine, you know, kind of a, it's not going to be a hardcover, obviously, but it's going to be, you know, more sturdy than, feeling than the envelope. So that's the way I'm going to cut my 2 panels, because I need one for the back and the front. And then I'm going to have a 3-inch spine. I don't know how wide this is. Let me see. That might work out just perfect. Not quite. That's not even 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut me a 3-inch spine out of something. So I'm going to go ahead and make my measurements. And I know I want to cut this off and make it straight, because I don't want this extra piece on here. And if y'all already know how to do this step, you know, just go ahead and skip ahead. Alright, so now I'm going to measure 5 3/8. I don't know where my regular pen is. Oh, goodness, I hope I didn't just move y'all too much. Alright. Let's go 5 3/8 here. Okay, and then I want to go high. I want to go 7 3/8. Now you have to measure yours. Yours won't be the same as mine, so just, you know, make sure you measure yours. Go to that line. That doesn't look right. Let me check it again. Oh, remember that right there. Maybe. That's the right one. Let's check this again. So right there. Be the right one. Okay, so that should be the right size. So now I'm going to cut this piece out. And before I cut my second piece, I want to check it, you know, with my journal to make sure that it is the right size. Okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but, you know, you want it really close. Okay. So I'm going to hold this up to this and just kind of look and see. And that looks pretty good. So that's how this is going to look when it's closed up. And then, of course, I don't have it centered exactly right at top and bottom, but once it's centered right, you're just going to see a little edge at the top and a little edge at the bottom. And so that's going to be perfect. So my measurements are right. So I want to go ahead and do the same thing again. Let's go ahead and cut these pieces off. I don't need this piece. So I'm going to go 5 3/8 wide. Okay. That doesn't look right, but I'm going to check it just to make sure it's not right. Should be right here. Yep, that's right there. I'm going to check this one. That one's right. See, measure twice and cut once. That's the plan. Okay, that looks better. See, I could have cut this, you know, without drawing the line, but then I wouldn't have noticed that it was off. So, oh, I need to measure up first so I know how far to go. So let's go 7 3/8 this way. Feed it right there. Leave it right there. Just remeasure to make sure. Okay. I'm going to extend this line a little bit. Now, sorry I keep bumping y'all. Okay, that looks like it should be about it. Looks perfect, y'all. Okay, perfect. All right, so now I want to make a 3-inch spine, but it still has to be 7 3/8 tall by 3 inches. So let's see. Do I have 3 inches here? It doesn't look like it. Nope. All right, definitely 3 there. Do I have 7 3/8 here? I do. Okay, let me check that again. All right. Okay, looks good. So then I just want to do 3 inches from about here. And here. Am I measuring from the same place? I am. And I am. All right, so now I just want to draw a line right across there. And don't throw the rest of your box away. If you're using a box like I am, you can use it to make your tags and stuff with. Or little embellishments, you know, you make clusters with it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put a straight line all the way. Okay. Just make sure that's 3 inches. It is. It is. Okay, that should be right on the money. Let's cut this off first. Okay, cut this off so I can get rid of this. No, it's not going to get rid of it, is it? That's okay. I got to turn that or I'm going to end up with a mess. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take our pieces. Well, I didn't cut that straight at all, did I? That looks awful. Yeah, that's where I got off right there. I see it. And you want to get you some tape. And masking tape works. You know, packaging tape. The problem with packaging tape or duct tape is that it's hard to get glue to stick to a shiny surface. You can even, you know, take like Scotch tape, you know, clear tape, and tape your pieces. But you don't want to butt them like right up next to each other. You want them to, you know, just have a little bit of space in between them. Kind of like that, so that your book will open and close. And I didn't bring my masking tape ahead of time. Oh. Just right here if I can grab it. Okay. Oh. Okay, now let's set this back down. I'm going to tape this seam. Okay. I'm going to trim that off. Now we are going to cover the inside and the outside of this with either paper or fabric. It's your choice what you want to use. You know, that is actually good enough. However, I like to go ahead and reinforce this on this side as well. Your choice. You don't have to do it. I just think it helps, you know, long term with it. And so I'm just going to do that. And then tomorrow we will work on covering our journal cover. I don't know if we're going to do, or if I'm going to do fabric or paper yet. I haven't quite decided. Which one I'm going to use. I haven't had a chance really to go through my fabrics to see if I have something that'll match well with this. That covers off a little bit right there. I'm thinking I might need to change that. Another thing you could do to reinforce these spines, you know, if you don't have any tape on hand, is, you know, take you some of your cardstock and whatever and cut it into about an inch strip and then fold it, you know, like this. You could even use half-inch strip. Fold it like that and then glue it down over your seam. And you could do that front and back or just one side. So that's your choice as well. I'm going to move this. I don't like, no, this one. I don't like the way I line that up. I didn't line it up correctly. So I'm just going to cut that apart right there and start over again on that side. So anyway, that gives you the general idea of how to do it. You know, everything doesn't work out on the first try. So, you know, if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. It's you know, it's not like it can't be fixed. You know, this is just a piece of packaging. You know, it's not that serious. So don't let things stress you out. You know, just, we get a do-over in this craft, thank God. And, you know, also this is, it's handmade. So, you know, you don't want everything to look perfect, you know, like it was made by a machine. You want it to look like it was made by hand. So, you know, don't let the little things bother you. It's just not that important. And the only reason I changed this was because you'll be able to tell, you know, from the side of the book that it doesn't look right, that it's off, because your pages will show then. So that's the only reason I changed that. And so I'm going to retape this edge right here. And I can show you that this is definitely more sturdy than this floppy thing right there. See, I mean, this is just floppy. So that's why I'm reinforcing, you know, the front and the back. But because it's going to be covered in paper, it's not necessary to do that. You know, it's just your choice, whatever you choose to do. Okay. All right, so tomorrow we will work on our covers for this. So now that I have that done, I'm going to just set my signatures kind of inside and see how that looks. Actually, 3 inches was about perfect for it not to be too chunky. I mean, it's going to be a little bit chunky, but not too much. But once I get my few other embellishments in, it's going to be pretty chunky. I should have gone for a 2.5 inch spine, I guess. But 3 inches is good. 3 inches is good. This way it's not so chunky, but once I get, like I said, my other few embellishments on there, it'll be, I'll be end up chunking it up some more. And, you know, I like chunky, so I don't mind that at all. But anyway, once this is in here, that's how it will look, you know, at the top and at the bottom. So, and the sides. Let's see. Well, it's hard to do this when it won't stay in place exactly right. So you're going to have plenty of space. And see, I could have even cut that down another 1/8 of an inch and it would have been all right. But once I embellish it, you're not going to be able to tell, you know, whether it's an 1/8 of an inch, you know, too long or too short or whatever. So, like I said, don't worry about the little stuff. So go ahead and get your covers together, and then tomorrow we will work on getting them covered. In the meantime, y'all have a very great and blessed day, and I will see you to finish up, well, yeah, hopefully to finish up this journal tomorrow. I'm going to kind of give you a few tips on making a choice of what, you know, when to place your papers or fabrics on, you know, what order you can do it. You know, there's no rules. You can do it however you want to. But, you know, I'm just going to give you some tips and why, you know, you might choose one way over the other. But it is totally up to you. But anyway, I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great, great day. Blessings and hugs to everybody. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. If everybody would please hit the like button, you know, that's important. Thank you to all of my subscribers, my brand new ones and the ones that have been hanging around. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. You just don't know. I can't thank you enough for your love and support. Cynthia, thank you for checking on me. You know it means the world to me. You've been such a great friend, and I appreciate that so much. Okay, y'all have a blessed day. Bye.